Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Colleges That Change Lives virtual college fair. We have a great list of institutions for you to hear from this evening. But before I turn it over to them, I do have a couple of housekeeping items for you all. Number one, this is a webinar, so your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you this evening. But they know that you're going to have some questions and they want to make sure that your questions get answered. So you can use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen, type out the college or university that you're directing your question to, and then type out your question. That just allows them to better address your questions. This is a really fun way to explore colleges, and this is going to be a great night for you to do that. There are additional sessions both tonight and tomorrow, so we do hope that you'll sign up for more sessions. This program, as well as all the other programs tonight, are being recorded. And so you're welcome to hear that playback at strivescan.com/CTCL. So before I turn it over to our presenters, I do have a short video for you to listen to, and then we'll get started. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Ann Morano, Executive Director of the Colleges That Change Lives. Congratulations on starting or continuing your college search, and thanks for saying yes to spending some time with us during the virtual college fair. I'm so excited for you. Take a deep breath. You got this. One thing you need to know about all of the colleges that change lives is that we are fiercely committed and dedicated to the individual student, that's you, and a student-centered search. You really matter to us. So think about what you value and what you're looking for in your college experience. What will make you happy on campus? What sorts of experiences are you looking forward to having in and outside of the classroom? What sorts of clubs and organizations do you want to get involved with? Do you want to start? What sorts of folks do you want to be surrounded by? People who have similar backgrounds, similar viewpoints and opinions, or people who come from different backgrounds who have different opinions and viewpoints? What kinds of conversations do you want to get involved in on campus? Again, in and out of the classroom. Which ones do you want to start? Which ones do you want to spill out into the hallways after class is ended? What sort of physical environment are you looking forward to? Do you want to be in an urban metropolitan area or further away in what I call a more rural, nature, green stuff kind of space? How close do you want to be to home, or what you call home? Do you want to try something completely different in a location that's brand new to you, or do you want to stay a little closer to what's familiar? If it matters to you, it matters to us. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions in the chat during each session. So make sure you show up as yourself, be yourself, and get those questions answered. The Colleges That Change Lives are 44 distinctly different liberal arts institutions located across the United States. Although they are all different in terms of their academic offerings, their personalities, their vibe on campus, sometimes even their single gender focus or faith affiliation, they all share a commitment to you and to the liberal arts, because we believe that no matter what you want to study or what you think you want to do once you have graduated from college, the liberal arts provides you with lifelong learning and will make you a more effective communicator, resourceful problem solver, and global citizen. And we think that's super important, especially for today. If there are questions that you have that don't get answered, or we can provide additional support or be a resource for you after the fair, throughout your college search and application process, don't hesitate to reach out to any one of the member colleges or myself. And if there are schools that you'd like to learn more about, or schools that are not represented at the virtual fair, be sure to check them out at our website, ctcl.org. Good luck, and thanks again for being here.
What a great message to start on. So now I am your facilitator, Courtney, and I am proud to announce the first presenter today, which will be Willamette University. Take it away, Caitlin, whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Courtney. I'm going to share my screen with you all and get started. Welcome. Welcome to Willamette University. My name is Caitlin Harper, and I am the Director of Admission, Marketing, and Events at Willamette. My hope is that in the next few minutes, my presentation will inspire you to want to spend more time with us through a more in-depth visit, either virtually or in person, which we are offering both of. Willamette is located in Salem, Oregon, which is the state capital, and in the heart of the beautiful Willamette Valley. We're a liberal arts college supported by graduate programs in business, law, theology, and our recent merger with the Pacific Northwest College of Art. We're located in a part of the country that is sought after for its natural beauty, diverse ecosystems, outdoor opportunities, and many places to explore. Willamette was established as the first university in the Western United States, founded before the state of Oregon was even recognized. Willamette began to educate and shape innovative leaders right from the beginning, including our very first graduate, Emily York. I mention our history because it's important to understand Willamette's rich heritage in order to understand who we are as an institution now. Willamette's legacy of leadership and impact in the community is exactly what current Willamette students find here today. We're a place that takes knowledge and turns it into action. Our motto grounds the Willamette experience in a very real way. The motto, "Not unto us ourselves alone are we born," sums up what those early alumni knew from their time at Willamette. We are in the world together, and our college education should be a time when we practice and explore how we will have an impact on others. We talk about the motto a lot and continually challenge ourselves to live in a new way and a varied way. Willamette focuses on providing students many opportunities, both in and out of the classroom, to make positive change through leadership, service, and innovation. In the classroom, Willamette students meet in small groups where highly engaged faculty lead primarily experiential-based classes. Small groups interact and classes are designed to help students develop the important skills that will see them through their lives and careers. Skills like critical thinking, creative problem solving, and the ability to consider varied perspectives. Our faculty are accomplished scholars. They research, write, and publish extensively. But first and foremost, they're teachers. Willamette faculty serve as mentors, helping students really learn to learn so that they can grow and change as the world changes around them. It's no wonder that Willamette has had more Oregon Professors of the Year than any other college in the state by quite a margin. We feel strongly that the incredible classroom environment at Willamette is critically supported by experiential and co-curricular activities. Things like study abroad, hands-on research, and internships are the interactive out-of-class experiences that all Willamette students participate in. Our unique location contributes significantly to our ability to provide these opportunities. So let me tell you a little bit about our place in the world. We are an urban campus set in the center of Salem's quaint downtown corridor, and we're the only campus in the nation that sits directly across the street, 76 feet to be exact, from the state capitol building. You can imagine the internship and research opportunities that abound for our students in everything from politics to economics to psychology and data science, simply because of our proximity to and long relationship with the state government. Also unique to our location is the positioning of Salem Health, one of Oregon's largest hospitals, which is directly adjacent to our campus. Our thriving pre-med and public health programs are very well supported by our proximity to this medical resource. Willamette also owns a 305-acre outdoor learning laboratory called Xena, which students can literally go dig in the dirt of this unique region, restoring habitats, participating in forestry study, and even growing vegetables. As you can see, Willamette is physically located in such a way that we are literally surrounded by opportunities for students to extend their learning beyond campus. There's so much more to say, but before my 6 minutes are up, I just want to mention that Willamette uses the Common Application. We review applications holistically, and we've been fully test optional for several years. We never charge a fee to apply to Willamette because we don't want that to be a barrier for any student. And every application is considered for generous financial aid awards. Willamette encourages applications from bright, diverse, prepared students who want to make an impact and interact with challenging ideas. If you want to be part of the deep traditions and history that have made Willamette a shaper of innovative leaders, I hope you'll take time to learn more about us. Visit our website to explore more and hopefully sign up for other visit opportunities. And don't hesitate to reach out to me directly to learn more either. Go Bearcats.
Caitlin, thanks so much to you and Willamette University. Audience, don't forget, you can put questions for Caitlin and Willamette in the Q&A at any point. Now I'm excited to introduce the next institution, Southwestern University. Christian, take it away whenever you're ready.
Hello, let me go ahead and share my screen. Can we see it? Are we all good?
Yep.
Great. Well, hello everyone. My name is Christian Urban. I am one of our admission counselors here at Southwestern. I'm actually an alumna of Southwestern myself. So a few fast facts about the university. We are actually one of the first colleges in Texas, founded in 1840. We are in Georgetown, Texas, which is about 30 minutes north of Austin, Texas, the capital of Texas. So we're liberal arts like all the other CTCL schools, and we have about 1,500 undergraduate students. We are undergraduate only, meaning that the undergraduate student is our only focus at Southwestern. You're not waiting in line for opportunities behind grad students. You're not being taught by TAs. You're only being taught by our highly trained faculty with the highest degree in their field. So we do have 37 majors, 41 minors, and 7 pre-professional pathways. Our 5 most popular majors right now are business, kinesiology, biology, communications, and psychology. Very small class sizes. You're not going to be able to blend into the back of a lecture hall at Southwestern. You'll be doing a lot of hands-on learning, a lot of group learning and collaboration, less of being lectured at and more hands-on work with the student faculty ratio of 12:1 and the average class size of 16. We are so proud to be one of the only 2 CTCL colleges that change life schools in Texas, and we are an 100% renewable energy campus, as is Georgetown, Texas. So we are very, very fast growing. Even since when I was a student, it has grown a lot in Georgetown. We voted ourselves the most beautiful town square in the state of Texas, but I believe it to be true. We have so many great local shops and restaurants, a lot of great, breakfast tacos and barbecue, the things Texas are known for. And if you like outdoor recreation, the cool thing about Texas is we don't have a lot of seasons. It's just hot almost all the time. So the nice thing about that is you can go to the swimming holes in October and November because we have a lot of great outdoor recreation. We have camping grounds all around our area as well. We actually rent camping equipment to students. So if you like outdoor recreation, it's a great place to be with beautiful weather. And the nice thing about living in Georgetown is that you do have access to Austin, a bustling city, but you're not in the middle of an urban city. You have your own little college town in Georgetown. So we're about 30 minutes north of Austin. So you can utilize Austin for research opportunities, jobs, and internships and stuff like that. But the nice thing is there are so many amazing things to do on campus anyway, you might not need to go to Austin if you go to Southwestern. So we have a very flexible learning curriculum here at Southwestern. We leave a third of your degree open for you so you can explore other passions or interests and really have that liberal arts education that really makes you prepared for the real world and the job world and things like that. So you'll have your major as your first third, you'll have your liberal arts general education as your second third. And the nice thing about our liberal arts is that we don't have one humanities class you take and one science class. You get to pick from over 100 different classes for all of those requirements. And these can also help foster new interests and passions and add some majors and minors with your last third of your degree that is very, very open and flexible. We have a cool academic philosophy called paideia. It's a fancy Greek word, but we call it the art of making connections. And this is where the liberal arts come into your degree. We have you make connections inside and outside of your major with the classes you are taking. My favorite example of this is a student named Isabel who graduated in 2019. She was a computer science major and she had to take a music class for her general education. She actually funded a student faculty research project with this connection she made through her music class where she looked at how coding in computer science can improve music therapy technology in hospitals. Pretty cool project. And she actually got published with a professor and got to go to a national convention to present her work. All of this done in her undergrad, and she actually got into an amazing grad school for computer science. But we have you make those connections that can be the building blocks of our high impact learning experiences, which are things like our internships, study abroad, community engaged learning, our senior capstone project, and our faculty student research, like I mentioned with Isabel. So we have all these cool things you can do to apply your knowledge inside and outside of the classroom. Many students will combine our high impact learning experiences, like sometimes our business students will go study abroad in London, and while they're taking classes in London, do a marketing internship. So we have our students apply their knowledge that they're learning inside of the classroom and take it outside into the real world. A community engaged learning class is where we have students go into the greater Georgetown area and the Austin area to apply what they're learning and get real life experience. Another great example of this is we've had students in our Spanish 3 class go work with bilingual students in elementary school. So you're having the community engagement while you were learning in the classroom. In addition to all of our inside and outside classroom, applying your knowledge, we also have activities. We have a vibrant student life on campus, very diverse student life. Over 100 different student organizations. We have everything from a coffee shop where you can learn how to be a barista, and that's a club. My favorite is a cat club where you help name our campus cats on campus and you help feed them and give them little personality traits. We have a wall of cats in our main student building where you can look at the different cats on campus, and things like that go with majors like academic clubs and fine arts clubs. Speaking of the fine arts, the cool thing about our school is that you are allowed to be involved in the fine arts whether you are a major or not a major. So if you played the violin in high school and want to keep playing in college, you can be not a music major and still participate in orchestra or choir or audition for the theater shows or take a ceramics class, which is really, really nice that we have that opportunity. We also do have a Division III sports, NCAA. We have 20 of those. And if you don't want to be a student athlete on campus, we also have intramural sports, which is a more casual way of kind of making a team with your friends and signing up and playing sports for fun as well. So we have both of those options open for our students. And our intramural sports league also offers free fitness classes during the week as well. And lastly, we do have Greek life on campus. We do what we call deferred recruitment, where you wait till the second semester to go through rush, so you have time to settle in on campus before you're going through Greek life recruitment. This is our first year student profile for last year's first year class. As you can see, pretty equal, male and female. 15% are international or out of state. 41% come from traditionally underrepresented communities. And actually 70% of our last year's first year class was first generation college students. So when applying to Southwestern, you have 4 options, and they were always 100% free of charge for the students applying. We do take our own application, the Southwestern application, but we also take Apply Texas, Coalition, and the Common application. We have 3 deadlines for application. I won't get into these too much, but we do have early decisions, our only binding application, where if you apply early decision, you will have to, if we accept you, you will have to commit to Southwestern by January 1st and withdraw your other applications. And then we also have an early action and a regular decision option as well. So a lot of options to apply and for deadlines. And when you apply, we do require an official transcript from the high school. We also require one recommendation either from your high school counselor or an academic teacher who knows you very, very well. We do require an essay that'll go with your application. And lastly, we are test optional here at Southwestern. So we make sure to look at students holistically. Yes, your grades are very important, but we also weigh things like extracurriculars, leadership, rigor, your essay, and your recommendation. So we offer test optional. So if you do not submit ACT or SAT scores, you will have to do a test optional interview, but we weigh our students the same whether they submit test scores or not. This is our holistic cost of attending Southwestern. We put everything in there because we are a residential campus. We have our students live on campus for 2 years, so college is a lot more than just tuition. So we have room and board, supplies, and miscellaneous costs. But the good news about this is that upon applying to Southwestern, you are automatically considered for our General Merit Scholarship Program. So we look at your class rank or GPA, whatever your school does and whatever is higher, we will give you the most amount of money we can. And this is before financial aid if you fill out the FAFSA. But the nice thing is you get considered for this money just by applying to our school, which is really, really nice. On top of that, we know Southwestern is an investment, but I think it's a great investment because about 90% of our students will graduate in 4 years. And after they do graduate, they go on to do amazing things. So we have 62% of our students going straight into the job field and 24 applying to graduate or professional school. We have a top-ranked career center that helps you from the day you get on campus to the day you graduate. And while we don't have any graduate or medical schools, we help you find the one that is the best fit for you off of our campus because we are undergraduate only. So these are just a few of the places our students have worked and gone to graduate or medical school. And that is the end of my presentation. Feel free to ask us any questions in the chat, and we are also open for visits. And I will put the visit link in the chat as well. Thank you so much.
Christian, thanks so much to you and Southwestern University. I'd now love to invite both of you to turn back on your cameras, and we will address some questions in a round robin format. So number one, if you could give two pieces of advice to students or families going through the college search process, what would they be? And Caitlin, we'll do you first and then Christian.
Great. Two pieces of advice going through the college search process. Gosh, there are so many. The first is use the resources that you have available to you. You're already doing a great job of that by attending this fair. You know, for better or for worse, the pandemic has opened up so many more opportunities for you to learn about colleges in different ways. There's a school from Texas and a school from Oregon sitting right here in your living room or wherever it is that you're tuning in from. And that is just not how the college search used to be. So you have amazing resources, and you should seek them out and use them. The other piece of advice I would say is remember the things that you're in control of and the things that you're not. And I think that can really alleviate a lot of the pressure or stress that you feel throughout this process. You are in control of putting together your application materials and submitting things on time. What happens after you submit that application isn't necessarily in control. So all you need to do is feel confident that you've submitted the best application that you can to schools that you know are going to be a good fit for you, that you're excited about. And then what happens after that is going to work out for you. Just remember that you are in control of this process, and hopefully that will alleviate some of the anxiety.
Hello again. I would say, I know this process is very, very overwhelming. I would just say you're getting all this information from different schools and different fairs. Start making a list of what you want in a school, because I remember when I was applying to schools a few years ago, I didn't know what I didn't know, if that makes sense. So when I saw a school, I was like, oh, I like that part of that school, but not that part. And so I make a list like, I want this major at this school, and I want them to have a campus and not be in the middle of a city, or vice versa, or I want to be in the middle of a city. And so once I started making that list, it was easy to narrow down, because there are so many colleges and it's hard to narrow them down. But if you have that basic list of a few things you want to start out, then you can find those schools and look more specifically into them. I think that was a very helpful tool I've given out to students lately. Some students have come up to my table at college fairs and been like, I don't think I want to go to this school, but it teach me what I didn't want, which obviously I don't love to hear that, but I'm an admission counselor. And so my job is to help you find the right fit for college, not force you to go to the one that I am promoting. The second piece of advice I would give is, I mean, location's obviously very important when picking a school, but I would not discount a school for how far or close it is from home. I was the kind of student who was dead set on getting so far away from my home and my parents. I lived in Austin, and I ended up going to a school 30 minutes from my house. It took me a very long time to pick that school because I was like, it's too close to home. I don't want to be that close. I want to get away. I mean, I would have gone to the Southwestern school no matter, where it was in the United States. So I would say, if you have a good feeling about a school and you get that feeling, don't discount it for location reasons, and trust your gut, I would say. So those are my pieces of advice.
So because we have some time, there's a question that came in the chat, and I think this could be really helpful to everyone listening. The question is, the process seems overwhelming, especially the essay. I don't want to write something redundant. So do you have any advice for writing admissions essays? And we'll start with you, Caitlin, and then go back to you, Christian.
Yeah, thank you, Courtney, for picking that question out. I thought that would be helpful for everyone to hear as well. So I, of course, have multiple pieces of advice about writing your essay as well. The first is to, again, use your resources. It's funny how a lot of the advice is applicable across this whole process, but one of the things that I found really helpful in writing my own college essays was working with my, friends and the people that knew me best in life. I would write a draft, have them read it, and then tell me back what they learned about me, right? Like, what was the main point of this essay? Because there were so many times where I'd write an essay and I'd get so caught up in what I was trying to convey. I'd send that essay over to a friend and they'd respond and be like, totally off, like not the point I was trying to make at all. So rely on those around you that know you really well, to sort of mirror back at you, because ultimately that's what your admission counselors are going to be doing when they're reading your essay, right? Is trying to discern what that point is that you're trying to make. What is the thing that you're trying to tell us about yourself? The second piece of advice that I have is that you might be able to write a really beautiful essay about your grandma. And we love reading beautiful essays about grandmas and all sorts of other things. But ultimately, we don't want to admit your grandma to our school. We want to admit you. And so one of the biggest things that you can do, right, one of the biggest things that you're in control of is not just regurgitating something that's happened to you or explaining this person who's been in your life, but really digging down into why, right? Why am I telling this story? What, again, is that message that I'm hoping to convey? Don't just be in the what circle, really dig down to the core of why.
My supervisor in our admissions office always says, if you're walking around your high school and your essay was in your pocket and fell out of your pocket and someone read it and it didn't have your name on it, they would automatically know it was your essay because it's about you and they can tell it was written by you. So obviously, it's cliche advice to be genuine, but I think it comes down to writing about what you're really passionate about. I've had a student one time ask me, I'm really into computer science and I wanted to do my essay about my favorite computer science query, but I'm worried you might think that's boring. I'm like, well, yeah, I don't know about computer science a lot, but if you write from your perspective of a passionate student who loves this kind of thing, I'm going to also become passionate about it and tell that that's something you want to do. And also that's good because we have computer science at our school. So it's the kind of thing where it's also showing the school who you are and what you are passionate about. And like Caitlin said, not like my grandma's amazing, which I'm so happy for you that your grandma is amazing. But again, it is about you. And it should be able to be recognized by other people as, truly yourself and your story. So nothing is too boring. If it's something you're passionate about and it is about you and about your life, we will find it interesting if you write from that point of passion.
Like, what you might not already know about me is a great way to think about it. So let's address some other questions. What do you guys want students and families to remember about your school? And we'll start with Christian first this time.
I would say the thing that defines Southwestern is the word community. And all the students, we did a poll last year where we took videos of, if I say Southwestern, what's the first word that comes to your head? Half of them said community. So we couldn't use half those videos because they were all the same word. But I think the nice thing about Southwestern, our students really do it all in the sense that we have students who are student athletes in sororities who are also in the theater shows, who play in the orchestra, who have a double major and add a minor. And the cool thing about that is you can really find little communities around campus. I always say Southwestern students do things in groups because all of our classes are kind of small and group work and stuff like that. So you'll find people like hanging out on the academic mall in the green grass, studying, throwing a frisbee and hanging out. And I always walk around and smile at people just because it's like a very welcoming environment. I remember when I applied to Southwestern and I was walking around the campus by myself looking for admissions, a bunch of people would like smile and wave at me and I was like, you don't even know me. What are you doing? I don't go here. But they didn't care because that's the kind of community we foster, is a community of respect and, mutual kindness. And the nice thing about our small size as well is that you can walk around every day and see people and wave at them, but you also meet new people every day in your classes. So it's a very nice community, family, ongoing kindness thing at Southwestern.
So the one thing that I would hope you know and remember about Willamette kind of builds off of a piece of advice that Christian was giving a little bit earlier, which is consider location, but don't let it limit you. I don't know if many people even know that Salem is the capital of Oregon, right? Everyone thinks Portland and the big cities, and that's great, right? We're only an hour away from Portland, so it's sort of an extended backyard, just like we're an hour away from the coast and an hour away from mountains. But most importantly, thinking about location from the lens of what opportunities is it going to provide to you as a college student, right? There's the classroom and there's the social world of living at a residential college, like a lot of the CTCL schools are, if not all of them. And then there's all of the other stuff, right? And experiential learning is a really big deal at Willamette. And our students participate in incredible opportunities because of our location. They, work on state political campaigns. They do lobbying work and activism. They have internships and research opportunities at the hospital that I mentioned earlier. They do community service work and philanthropic work across the state. Again, all because of our location and what is surrounding us. Salem and our beautiful campus is only one layer. And so I guess what I would hope people remember about Willamette is that location is crucial, right, to a student experience and is not limited or bordered by just our campus.
So one of the questions that I didn't prepare you for, but I think you'll still be able to answer it before we go into our last question is, can you talk about either one of your favorite events or traditions on campus? And we'll start with Christian again first.
That's hard. We have so many, we're so old. I'm gonna do two small ones if that is okay. So we have this horsehead skeleton statue we call Monstrance. He was donated by an alumni. I cannot really tell you why he donated that. It's right outside of our library. But we have this tradition where we make him edible sacrifices to pass our tests and quizzes. So in a lot of our pamphlets, you'll see there's this little horse statue that's covered in like fruit from the dining hall and Starbucks lattes, and students will really sacrifice these things to this statue in order to pass their tests and quizzes. Speaking of tests and quizzes, my other favorite tradition we have on campus is called late night breakfast, where during finals week, we like to provide a space for students to take a study break. And so we have like this midnight breakfast where you go to the dining hall at like 11 p.m. and there's karaoke and you get to eat pancakes, and the faculty and staff actually serve it to you. So I remember as a senior, the president of the university was flipping pancakes and gave me a pancake, and I was served orange juice by my history professor. So it's really, really cool that the teachers will give back to you during finals week and provide this space for you to have a little study break.
So Willamette, like I mentioned, has deep roots in tradition, and it's one of the things I love most about the school. One example is the candle lighting ceremony during orientation. Our campus is cut in half by the mill stream, so it's this lovely, quaint stream that flows through the middle of campus. And during orientation, all of our new students go to the mill stream, the top of the mill stream by the library. They pick up floating, now electric candles. In the olden days, it was actual wax candles. And they put the candles into the mill stream at the top. And at the bottom are current students, alumni, and community members to pick up those candles, right? So it's this beautiful symbolic welcome into the community and sort of launch of your Willamette experience that, throughout your 4 years and at the end of your 4 years and into your career as an alum, you can still participate in, right? And welcoming all of these new Bearcats. I love a good symbolic tradition, and it's really beautiful in all of the best ways.
So one last question for you guys, and this time we'll start with Caitlin first. What is one myth you'd like to debunk about the college admissions process or search process?
When I was applying to colleges, I was the student who waited until the very last second, 11:59 p.m. to push submit on my college applications. And it wasn't because I wasn't ready, right? Or I procrastinated. Everything was ready. It was just because I was terrified of what was going to happen when I pushed that button. I just imagined all of these scary people sitting at big desks with red deny stamps, just waiting, right, to crush all the work that I put into this application. But in reality, who's waiting on the other side of that submit button is us, right? We are not big, scary, dream-crushing monsters. And for me, thinking back to my college search and what I wish someone had told me, or what I wish I had listened to when people were trying to tell me, was like, we really are counselors, right? Christian said it earlier. Our titles are admission counselors. We're not here to crush dreams. We're here to help find that fit for you, whether it's at our school or another, because we believe in the value of higher education and access to higher education. So no question should go unasked. No opportunity to connect with us. If there's ever a moment where you think, why in the world is it this way in this process, just reach out to any of us, any school, take your pick, and one of us would very happily talk transparently and candidly with you about why it is the way that it is.
I mean, mine's along kind of the same lines. I think when people are applying to college, it seems like Caitlin mentioned, like the student versus the university, and also the universities versus the other universities. Like at a college fair, I'm not thinking of the other schools as like, this is my competition. I need to get all the kids to come to my school. Like she said, admission counselor. And I'm not going to force you to go to my school if it's not a good fit, because that's not the point. I remember a student came up to my table and asked if I had a certain major. And I said, no, but the table 2 down from me has a great program for that. And she's like, why are you suggesting that I go to another school? Don't you want me to go to your school? And I was like, yeah, but if we don't have the major you want, I don't want you to be unhappy. That's not the point. So we're not trying to, be against you. Like Caitlin said, we're not trying to deny you. We are real humans who, yes, we read your application, but we also went through this ourselves as well. So we know the pressure you're under. And we want to, let you into our school. We want you to give you the most financial aid possible. We want to help you through this process. We don't want to make it harder for you. And so I would say it's not like a war between a bunch of different teams. Essentially, and it's very cliche, we're all in this together, because, all of you are going through this right now, and all of our schools are trying to promote you and recruit you. And so I would just say that we are all more on the same team and not on opposite teams.
That's you guys are just great experts, and I hope that the audience learned a lot from you all. And I would also just add, have some fun. This is supposed to be a transformative time in your life, and you can really make it a lot of fun. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. There'll be a quick 5-question survey as you close out this evening. And don't forget to reach out to Christian or Caitlin if you have any questions, and they're happy to answer them later on too. Sign up for more sessions both tonight and tomorrow. The recording of this will be available at strivescan.com/CTCL. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great night. Bye-bye.